If only there were a better way to move all of these items. Well, there is. Greetings, citizens of the internet, and welcome to M3T. I am Neptune's Orca 2, here to make you a smarter player. Today, we're going to be looking at some simple inventory shortcuts that will make your life much easier. Let's start with one of the most basic and also one of the most game-changing, the shift click. All you have to do is hold the shift key and then click on the item you want moved. As you can see, the item will be moved instantly into the first available inventory space in the container. It also works backwards from container to inventory. Shift click also applies to the inventory itself. If you shift click in the hotbar, it will transfer to the first slot in the inventory. And of course, vice versa. If you shift click armor in your inventory, it will try to put it on in the appropriate armor slot, like so. Lastly, if you have a crafting recipe and you shift click here, it will fill your inventory with as many of that item as possible. This also works when trading with villagers or using an anvil. If you right click armor in your hotbar, like so, it will automatically put it on, as you have already seen. Next up, the shift double click. The first thing you have to do is pick up an item, any item at all. Then hover over the item you want to move and hold shift. Next, swiftly double click. All of the items of that kind will be transferred to the container. Notice that this also works with items that wouldn't normally stack, like potions, but does not work with items with different NBT data. Next, we have a couple of tricks that are very useful for crafting, but can be used for other things too. For instance, I'm going to make one pickaxe, but I only have complete stacks in my inventory. So, what I do is I take my iron, and I hold down the right click button, and I drag across every square I want filled. You'll notice that this fills in only one ingot into each of these spaces. I do the same with the sticks, and bam, one pickaxe ready for pickup. Now let's say that I just have too much iron and want to condense it into iron blocks. If I take my ingots and then press and hold left click, dragging across each square I want filled, you will notice that the ingots are spread evenly throughout these spaces, with any remainder being left in my hand. The last shortcut for today is the pick block function. By default, it's set to your scroll wheel, so if you're using a mousepad, you have to change it over in your options, under Controls. The pick block function does exactly what it says. It picks a block. This works particularly well in creative mode, where you have every item to pick from. For instance, if I find that I suddenly need a grass block, all I have to do is put my crosshairs over one, middle click, and voila! Now I'm holding a grass block. Now the pick block function ordinarily just copies a block as it is in its normal form. You can see, if I take this command block, just an ordinary command block, nothing fancy about it. But this one, I've typed in this crazy amazing command that I want to keep and I want to put it somewhere else. If this is the case, what I can do is I can press Control and then use the pick block function, and this will give me a command block complete with NBT data, which then, when I place that one down, will have all the information inside. Now say that I want to place a grass block, and I've already got one in my inventory. Now, if I use the pick block function, the grass block will trade places with the item I currently have in my hand, and that one will go into my inventory. If it's already in my hotbar, then when I use pick block, it simply brings my hotbar selection to that slot, like so. If you're playing 1.8 or earlier in survival mode, you can only use the pick block for your hotbar. However, as of 1.9 and after that, you can also use it to access your entire inventory in survival. The last use for the pick block function is once again in creative. If you bring your mouse over a space in your inventory and pick block that item, you will be given a full stack of that item, copying it exactly. This is really nice for items with special NBT data, such as written books or custom banners. Thank you for watching this episode of M3T. I hope that it has made you a better, smarter player. If you want to check out this world, it is available for download. Check it out in the links in the description. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, subscribe, and check out my website. Stay stupendous, and I'll see you later.